I just had a fucking meltdown. Like a complete, like, smashing things. Fucking meltdown. I haven't had something like that in a while. I was just trying to get the room together. I live in a really small place. As is, you know, as is expected when it's like so expensive to live anywhere here. Like a one bedroom, the average one bedroom I think is 2,500. One bedroom home's $1 million. It's just very expensive to live here. But I always think like I don't know what I think. I don't know what I think when I'm out. I'm just like, I'll buy this, yeah, I want that, I want this. I buy a bunch of like collectible shit, right? But I don't have room for it. And I just say to myself, like, oh, I'll put it somewhere. Because I'm used to living in big places. Because, you know, I didn't always live in great neighborhoods, but that's the thing about bad neighborhoods is you get a lot more space. When the last really bad neighborhood I lived in, which wasn't bad for me, I never had a fucking problem there, everything was cool. But I had one for less than I'm paying here to live in a tiny fucking place. I had 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. 3 bedrooms. How you doing? Not bad. Yeah, so it's like I'm just used to buying stuff and having a spot to put them. The guy's freaking out. So I don't want to listen on the poor guy. He's fucking fighting with somebody. But but I always had space, you know. So I don't know. I have the mentality still in my head. I can't. Oh geez, I can't fucking listen to shit. I don't want to listen, but it's compelling. I bet it's a woman. It's always a fucking woman. When someone gets that crazy, the only people that can make you that crazy is a girl, is a woman. You just don't get like, no matter how mad you might get with a dude, you just don't get that mad. Women will put you in this fucking place, this insane headspace, but you can't freak out like that. Because if you freak out like that, then you're a fucking maniac. Especially not to, you know, as a woman. You gotta just push that stuff down and just tuck it into that fucking deep heart and hope it stays down there. Yeah, so yeah, I had a little freak out there. It was good though. You have to have that kind of stuff sometimes. Smash some shit, but you know, it's my shit. So the thing is, it's all gotta go down to the foyer for people to take. There's a little area in my where I live, where you go downstairs, where the elevators are, and you can leave stuff for other people. If you don't want something, you leave it on the little bench there, and it's the same shit. Like, this happens over and over for me since I've lived here. Get a bunch of shit, try to jam it in these fucking little spots. It gets to become too much because obviously it's going to. There's only so much room, and then I kind of lose my mind and figure out what I don't want, box it all up, and then I bring it downstairs, and that's it. So I'm having the same problem now, where I'm out of room. And the thing is, it's the fucking Hot Wheels. The Hot Wheels, I like the cars, right? Like, the cars are cool. I'll still buy the cars, but I always get these retarded sets. I did that the other day. I was mocking call for an uprising by buying it, but I guess he got the last laugh because I have absolutely no room for this stuff. Add to the fact that the house A lot of the stuff that's in there is held up by super glue. If you took super glue out of my apartment, it would just be a big pile of crap in the middle of the room. Everything's fucking held up with super glue. I buy so much super glue that when you buy a super glue thing, it comes with a little like tack that you use to pop in the top. And this is fucking fascinating. I'm glad you listened to me today. Each one comes with a tack. So whenever I need more tacks, I think, oh, I gotta get some more super glue. It's like, no, you can just buy a box of tacks. You know, you don't need to fucking, you know, whatever. But yeah, what was I just watching before I came out of here? I forget. There was some guy talking about how the world is always trying to make you feel useless. Like you have no power, you have nothing. And I'm like, yeah, right on. Their whole point, right, is to make you feel like you have no power. Because, and whatever. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, you can find this stuff out yourself. You're the most important thing in here. In the whole snow globe. You are. You know what I mean? You're way, 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 way more powerful than you could ever imagine, man. This whole thing is here for you. That's it. But they need you to not know that. Because if you don't know that, they just keep taking advantage of you, you know? So they gotta work 24/7. Oh my God, I'm having a fucking... American Spirit problem. So they gotta work 24/7 to make you think that you're like this insignificant flea piece of shit that can't do anything, that has no control over anything. You're just a drop in the rain. But they have to do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. It's like being in a glass menagerie, right? And there's a hole in it, like there's a crack in it that you could just slip out of, but they don't want you to do that. So they have to stand on the other side of the fucking menagerie, jumping up and down, doing jumping jacks and fucking blowing out fireworks. Hey, look over here, look over here. They got to do this constantly so that you don't realize that you just walk right out, you know, that it's, you know, that's not a good analogy, but the point is they have to work overtime all the time to keep you from realizing the situation as it is. You know, where you do have a lot of power. You have all the power. They're using your shit to run everything. You know, the energy they get to run the place around you is coming from you. Your energy. You're like a never-ending battery. Because you're not, I mean, I think everybody understands by now, you're not the fucking suit. The fucking suit is just the suit. What you are is electromagnetic energy. You're the energy that's in the suit, or maybe broadcasting to the suit. When you injure yourself, or when you have to, your body has to register some kind of feeling, that's all electricity that travels through your nervous system and then tells your brain what happened, so then your nerve endings can respond accordingly, right? That's energy. That's electricity. That's you. That's who you are. You know, the body's nothing. Like, they could tear this thing open and they're never going to find me in here. You know, because I'm not in here. There is no you in there. Do you know what I mean? And it takes a while to kind of figure that out. Not figure it out, but to kind of understand it and drill it into your head. And you have to do that a lot. Otherwise, you know, you're going to get attached to the world. You're going to be attached to matter. You're going to think you are carbon and you're here with all this carbon. You're not carbon. You're not solid. You're not matter. You're only, the suit is matter. You need to be in it to, you know, navigate the space and interact with the shit here. You need to be in it. Or, you know, as I said earlier, broadcasting to it. Because that's really what it is. It's frequency. Everything is frequency. So it's like these bodies like an antenna, and you're tuned to the antenna. Your radio station, that is you, is broadcasting to it. There is a part of you that's in here, though, like that's helping to animate this shit. And once you're out of it, then it's just fucking bleh. It dies. There's no more life. Nothing pumps. But you're fine. You'll walk it up. Like, the only thing that dies is the stupid fucking body. You know? That's it. That's all that dies. It's not... You've always existed. You're always going to exist. You can't destroy energy. You can move it. It could be moved, you know? But you can't get rid of it. You can't kill it. You can't end it. And I guess I have to mention that the eternity thing, because that used to freak me out too a lot as a kid. Like, I'd be like, what do you mean you've always been here, you're always going to be here? That sounds like a forever. Like, how do you conceptualize that? Well, the thing is, from what I understand, in my opinion, from what I've learned, yada yada, couch, time only exists here in this 3D matter-centric frequency that we're all kind of experiencing. Time is just something that's here. It's not anywhere else. So when you're out of here, whatever place you end up in, or wherever you go, which is where you come from, you don't come from here, you don't think about it. You'll be doing your thing, just living your life as you do, and you don't think like, oh, what time is it? How many more hours? It's not like that. It's just like, it's not anything that occurs to you, because it's just, you just keep going. You just keep rolling as if, as if there was no time, because there isn't time. Time's only here. And it's here because it's used as a stressor. It's part of what the original situation was here when it was like a testing area, you know, when it was a testing ground area. What time does is it adds that pressure, so you think like, oh, I got to do things quicker. I have to, you know, I only have so much time. It's a stress. It's a stress thing. You know, I got to stay away from people because no one speaks to each other. I've gone over this before with you. So when they get in my radius, it's like I'm putting on a fucking show. I hate it. It's not the best time to be out, actually. This is like, you know, high noon. But what are you gonna do? It's funny too, like sometimes, this happened the other day, I'm like going on about something crazy, I forget what it was. Something about like human sacrifice or something. And I like roll up to hear like one of these kind of things, and it's like when you do this, it's just like, you know, you're trapped. You're trapped with a bunch of people around you because they're all waiting for it too. And there's nowhere to go. You can walk wherever you want. You're gonna end up having to, you know, someone needs to be like where you are, no matter what. You know, as we're seeing right here. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. There's no way to go. But the thing is when they're there, no one talks to each other. Everybody's completely silent in a creepy robot way, the way they are. So then it's like, you know, I almost want to like, you almost want to like turn around and be like, all right, everybody, you know, it's crazy. What I used to do a lot is walk around with the phone in my hand. Pretend I was on the phone, so that when I was in one of those situations, which is like all day long, I'm able to just say some crazy shit. You know, I know she won't, you know, she won't stop smoking. I told her, you know, If she wants to start smoking, at least wait until she's 10 like Daddy did. She can't be smoking a pack a day at 8 years old. The old Ricky thing. Because, like, you know, fuck them. If people are going to be creepy and weird and silent and listen to you, might as well have fun with it. So, yeah, you should do that a lot. That was good, too, like, having the phone thing, too, like, talking on the phone. It helped me avoid people that wanted to have an interaction with me that I didn't want to have an interaction with, which is about 90% of people. Because most people that are like on vacation or they're doing their own thing, they don't need to talk to you. They don't need to talk to you. It's always someone who's like, well, this guy looks like he might want, need, or, you know what I mean? Because I have that look. So it's like, and like the, wait till I get nice people to talk. Oh, those two ladies here were talking to each other. God bless them. Maybe they're real people. But I have a lot of tattoos. Like, I'm heavily tattooed, but they're all old. Like, they were nice for their day. Like, I got most of this in the 90s. Before it was like a thing, a cultural thing. Like, when I first started getting them, no one understood what the fuck I was doing or why I was doing it. And there wasn't really any reason except that I had a customer at my store, one of the comic shops I own, who's, he just opened a shop in town. So he was like, hey, why don't you come over and, you know, do some work? So I'm like, all right, cool. So then I just went over there one day and I got one, and then I got two, and next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. And I'm covered in tattoos. But it was the 90s, right? Like 93, I want to say. Yeah, 93. Some people had them, but like, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers, some Marines, fucking Bon Scott. He was dead though by then. The point is, it wasn't like a thing. It wasn't like a lot of, it was definitely a subculture at that point. And because of that, you get stopped by a lot of people. Like, you know, people that also had something or just had a fucking nose piercing. Hey, which shop you go to? I didn't mind that. I didn't mind. It doesn't happen anymore though, because everybody's tattooed. But my shit looks like I got it in jail. So when dudes see that, certain kind of dudes see that, they're like, oh, he's cool, he's one of us, you know? And it's like, oh man, hey, where can I get this? And then the fucking thing starts, where it's like they just throw out 10 scenarios at once. I've gone over this before. What they'll do is they'll be like, hey, are you selling drugs? Do you have drugs? Do you know anybody that has them? And they'll simultaneously be saying that they have them, they're selling them, or they know someone that has them. Like, all these different scenarios they'll throw out at once, just to try to get you into some kind of deeper conversation with them about drugs. And it's like, I always gotta say, like, no, I don't do drugs, you know? And then you get like, they think you're fucking with them. Like, they'll like look at you like, what? Like, they'll laugh or something like you're joking. Like, you must do drugs, don't you? It's funny. But yeah, you get that too. But so I'd almost rather have the silent robots around me than have to deal with those guys. But I'm running into that less lately. You know, things are kind of, especially with the homeless situation, they're kind of cleaning things up here a little bit. Or it's not as bad as it was, for sure. Like, I mean, crime's up, of course. 42% is recovered here, many times. But I don't see a lot of homeless. But they weren't the problem with the crime. You know, like, as a, you know, settled science, they weren't robbing people, they were robbing each other. Although, like, the newer guys, the newer younger guys, they're kind of more prone to crime. And plus a whole bunch of new residents moved in from somewhere, and a whole bunch moved out, which coincided with this giant spike in crime. And it's still something I'm still working out, you know. I got a couple theories, but I talked about some of them here, but I don't know. It's gonna, some more time needs to go by. Some more time needs to go by. See, I've been trying to stop, but there is no way to stop. There's no way to stop without being surrounded. I'm just gonna fucking cut out and run. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.